Hello viewers, this is how I welcome you to the local news, coming to you live here on Star TV, channel 21 in Freetown, 36 in McKinney and channel 41 in Bo, and I am Waida Sese. Here are the top stories. The former Minister of Defense, retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte, has described allegations of holding secret meetings with some senior military officers and former President Anis-Bai Koroma in the northern city of McKinney. The former Minister of Youth Affairs under the All People's Congress Party, Honorable Almami Kamara, has called on the current government to consider youth inclusion into mainstream governance. The Office of National Security and other stakeholders, including 4 political party representatives, have concluded a country-wide cross-party engagement on how to stop violence among different party supporters in the country. And as always, we shall later on join our sport correspondent, Hilton John, to give us some update on sport. It's time now we're going for the news in detail. The former Minister of Defense, retired Major Alfred Paulo Conte, has described allegations of holding secret meetings with some senior military officers and former President Anis-Bai Koroma in the northern city of McKinney as baseless and pretty much unfounded, and called on the leadership of the SLPP to restrain the National Publicity Secretary Lahai Lawrence Lima from making loose pronouncements that borders state security. He spoke to Abdurrahman Kamara in this interview from his McKinney residence over the weekend. Let's take a look.
Retired Major Paulo, we don't see ever since the presidential results was announced. The accusation about some politicians for meddling into the affairs of the military, and also allegation we border around assassination, and this don't make the second one where the National Publicity Secretary of the SLPP, Lahai Lawrence Lima, don't make a wide accusation that you, President Koroma, and few senior military officers, they hold a very secret meeting. What do you get for telling the people in the first place?
One, it is absolutely not true, because the president even then at McKinney, ever can at McKinney, and no say eventually get for cancer to there, but they now from where they announced the result, he's been in Freetown. And secondly, me personally, I not get no meeting with no military personnel, senior or junior or civilians, nobody. I say a day na this, me family compound, na so a day, on a daily basis. And so I felt bad, because I say, when you're in opposition, you can make any allegations. You can make wild allegations. But when you're in governance, and you have state institutions supporting you, in enough for to make wild allegations.
A situation of tranquility and all the rest of it, but then they are still breaking into the society. What are the implications of that?
Well, like how you say, Abdurrahman, we all want a tranquil Sierra Leone. We want Sierra Leone for develop. Like I can say, President Koroma, in government who all been there, we have done our own bit. We want for see let Saloon develop. We Saloon develop, now all develop. The implications about dragging the army to them kind of wild allegations here, you split the army. And you don't want that. Me don't know the security sector for the last 10 years. You don't want for split the army. Because the army now the only institution we know for them. Any other institution can collapse and pick themselves up. But if the army collapse, Sierra Leone they collapse. The last time we will get decoration ceremony, now my young officers mess, me appeal to the senior officers and the soldier man there. I say, not get involved in politics. I say, go vote on election day. You can't sit on serve food. I say, not get involved. I don't say I go vote for APC when I'm young party. So dragging the army into this kind of thing, you bring division. President Madabio is now commander-in-chief. Now then commander-in-chief, and they should serve him. The oath way then they take now for serve the constitutional government. And Mada being government and the constitutional government of Sierra Leone today for the next 5 years.
The former Minister of Youth Affairs under the All People's Congress Party, Honorable Almami Kamara, has called on the current government to consider youth inclusion into mainstream governance, describing the participation of young people as extremely significant in the development and growth of the country. He spoke to our youth correspondent, Mohamed Basiru Sanusi, in this interview from the township of Makeni.
According to research and other findings so far, your support to young people has been very immense since day one, and that contribution is still going on. What's keeping you going?
Because I see myself always as a young person. I lived all my life for the past 20 plus more years, working alongside other young people and other people who are not young per se, but very much interested in issues of young people, fighting for them to see how their voices could be heard, how their concerns could be listened to, and how they could be empowered, and how they can work together to contribute into nation building.
In 2013, when the Ministry of Youth was separated from that of youth, from that of sport, you became the very first youth minister in this country. And immediately after that, in 2014, we saw a whole document called the Revised National Youth Policy of 2014. And it could be recalled that the first time that document was up in 2003 by the late Ahmed Tijan Kaba. Take us through that policy.
Well, the policy, it has to do with general overview, that is the thinking of all of us as a nation with regards issues of young people. Like you rightly stated, we had the first national youth policy in 2003 when Dr. Dennis Bright was Minister of Youth and Sport under the leadership of the late President Ahmed Tijan Kaba of blessed memory. As the policy itself dictates, it was supposed to have been revised after 5 years, 3 or 5 years, I couldn't remember exactly. But my predecessors worked very hard. But when we came into 2013, it was the desire of President Dr. Ernest Bai Koroma, the former president, for us to have as a first step to ensure that the policy is being revised so that we have a clear direction as to what is the way forward on issues of young people. So we worked very hard with other young people, interested groups, officials in the ministry, the directorates, the commission, other NGOs, we have civil societies working on young people, development partners, we have the UNFPA, we have YMCA, we have PLAN, we have UNDP and other bodies that we are concerned. We worked very hard until we are able to reverse the policy. We came up with a very robust and a very liberal and open policy compared to many policies in Africa, or especially in West Africa. In that policy, almost everything with regards to what should be the direction of young people was taken on board.
It's a pleasure having you, Honorable, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
You are still watching the local news coming to you live here on Star TV with me, Waida Sasai. And our final story of the news are here on Star TV. The Office of National Security and other stakeholders, including 4 political party representatives, have concluded a countrywide cross-party engagement on how to stop violence among different party supporters in the country and to embrace peace and oneness as Sierra Leoneans. Here is the details. Immediately after the final announcement on the 31st March 2018 presidential runoff election, supporters of the All People's Congress Party came under persistent attacks that forced many to migrate from especially Nimiyama chiefdom in the eastern part of the country and sought refuge in the township of Masimbi in the northern part of Sierra Leone. Against this backdrop of repeated political intimidations and violence across the country, a presidential cross-party committee was set up to look into the causes of political violence and intimidation and now to mitigate its impact across the country. Addressing residents at the Masimbe township that migrated from Nimiyama chiefdom in the eastern district of Kono, the national coordinator of the Office of National Security Ishmael Tarasi Tarawali, who headed a team of officials from political parties and civil society groups, including media practitioners, reminded them of the statement of His Excellency retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio on the ongoing violence in various parts across Sierra Leone and how to resolve such violent acts for the good of all.
But by and large, the government see the need because waiting bring all of this. That's a result of the outcome of the presidential runoff result. That will begin to see all NTR spark up all over the country. And as a state, we get a responsibility for protect with people. Then wherever they are inside this country or even outside this country, that will responsibility for take care of the people. I want also for sympathize with Tuna. Not to this we expect when they announce results. We expect we all for dance. Because at the end of the day, that's Sierra Leone win. So man, they now they will go back to the community inside the meeting. So man, they not drive about 9 just from a single go first. Now the fear of reprisal, the fear of attack. And the area they go, we don't see semblance of that. Don't know like you said. Some of we don't attack our brother and sister them. We don't threaten them. We don't put cutlass for them. We don't hear incidences wherein they rape woman them. Just imagine if na your mama or na your sister or na your pikin, they put close by na full road and trip her naked. You go gladly.
The head of operations of the Sierra Leone Police, Elizabeth Toure, said they were worried about reported incidents of violence across the country and called on all to accommodate each other in the interest of national development and moving forward in developing the country.
We'll be really worried at Freetown because we get a lot of reports all over the country. And we expect say this is not the first election. We really get the same experience. And as a country, as people there, we expect say for the member for change. And more member better thing for our country there. Election not necessarily know where they be. It happen all over the world. And even with neighboring country, quite recently, Liberia, they began the election. But the problem is they won't get tired. Liberia don't experience that.
Meanwhile, the Director Planning and Interagency Relations Directorate and spokesperson of the Office of National Security, Francis Lagomba Kelly, said the team will work with Political Parties Registration Commission, PPRC, the Human Rights Commission Sierra Leone, the Inter-Religious Council of Sierra Leone, and the security sector, aimed at bringing disputing communities together. This report was compiled by Abdurrahman Kamara, Waida Sise reporting for Star TV News. Before we end the news, let's join our sport correspondent Hilton John for some sport news.
The team will play their second leg encounter against Guinea-Bissau in the ongoing Under-20 African Cup of Nations qualifiers on Saturday, 21st of April 2018 at the Bo Stadium. The team has already left Freetown for Bo with a 35-man delegation. Head coach Ken Tabi says 25 players are in Bo already and they are in high spirit to represent their country with only one mind, which is victory. The boys are confident that they will overturn the 1-0 defeat they suffer in Bissau in the first leg. Coach Ken Tabi confirms.
We've got the team that we want, so we already have we've been training with a 25-man squad. We'll be heading for both today after this training. This is our last session in Freetown, and normally we need 20 players. So in both, we still have to drop 5 players that will come down, and the 20 players will be heading for Liberia after Before we had an issue going to Bissau, we didn't know our opponent, but now we know who we're playing against, we know how they play, and we know their morphology, they are athletic. So we've chosen a system that best suits our size. You must understand, Sierra Leoneans, we are small in size, and the Guineans, they are big. Their morphology is bigger. They are giants. So what we decided, we have to outpace them in the midfield and make sure we counter them from the wing, because that's where their weakness is.
We did on defensive declaration and we didn't stand firm for win that match.
Well, all the boys that we don't work really hard for the past couple of weeks, and now we don't prepare, and we didn't go board this afternoon for go train at the field, we'll get for play Saturday. So we will get used to the field and we will get the advantage.
Coach Kentabi says active football is returning to the country, and the more reason why he's calling on residents of Bo and its environs, as well as football fans from Freetown and other parts of the country, to go in the numbers and cheer up the boys to victory. While thanking the government and Mercury International for their support, Brahma Mazola Kamara, acting president of the Sierra Leone Football Association, says preparation is far ahead and they have ensured that the players are comfortable and in the right state of mind ahead of the match.
Preparation is ongoing. We are collaborating with the Ministry of Sport, and also, in fact, let me just take the opportunity to profoundly extend my congratulations to His Excellency retired Julius Maada Bio for his victorious achievement. In fact, we met with the transitional team led by Dr. Francis, David Francis. We talked with them regarding this under-20 competition. We spoke at length, and there's a lot of things that came out that was so fruitful, and I hope and I pray that whatever we discuss will continue. And I also want to extend my gratitude to Mercury International, because if you can remember, they sponsored the first leg, and also when we came back, they are taking most of the sponsorship for this return match.
Managing Director of Mercury International, Matthew Michael, assures their continued support to sports in the country. With optimism of victory on Saturday, they encourage the players to stay focused and committed as they go into the match.
Look, the conditions whether they play under is very, very difficult, and hopefully they will do the nation well, but and hopefully they will win and proceed to the next round. Let them just realize and remember that they do this for not for themselves but for the people. Don't take away we get any good news in terms of football, and let this act as a motivation for also the national team, because we don't win the first game in the Nations Cup qualifying, so hopefully this win will also act as a motivation for them. Let them go out and do the best of their ability, let them behave themselves on the pitch. We don't want any more red cards, they can't go get Bissau, you understand, and make them, we wish them the very best of luck.
On their courtesy call to the Director of Sport, Ibrahim Bangura, with excitement, he thanked the government and their sponsor, Mercury International, for their support whilst wishing the team well and a sure victory.
Let me first of all thank His Excellency the President, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, and his current team for the support they don't give to the under-20 national team Shooting Star for this qualifying match against Guinea-Bissau. This came as a surprise, and this showed the determination and the passion where the head of state get for promote football and sport in general in this country. I also want to take this opportunity for say thanks to the management and staff of Mercury International, especially Samir Yansane and Martin Michael, for the support to the national team, where they donate a total of nearly $60,000 for this match. I also want to wish my team, the Shooting Star, the boys, success and victorious on Saturday, and I hope we all as a country and as a nation we go celebrate victory.
With love for football and show of patriotism, the Chief Executive Officer of Real Madrid Football Club, Mahmoud Maki, provided financial support of €5 million to the team and wished them the best of luck.
My name is Mahmoud Maki. I get Real Madrid Football Club, and of course,
we like football, that's why we play football. And we know the talents we might get. And I know say with hard work and exposure, we all go get professional contracts and benefits on our family and additions. So me come one night is unexpected, and I just thought within myself say I need for give me own support as a Sierra Leonean, and moreover somebody who like sport, who like football in general. So I come with small colata for the team for motivate una.
What do you say?
Thank you. Mean that I prepare for this huge task at least for put Salone before. Because I know say when we win, the individuals of course now we win, but in general Salone win. Yeah.
With a victory that will overturn the first leg results, the Sierra Leone under-20 squad will immediately qualify to the second stage, where they are expected to face Nigeria in round 2. Immediately after the match in Bo, the team will travel to Liberia on Sunday the 22nd of April 2018 for their 2018 West African Football Union WAFO competition. For Star TV Sports, I am Milton John reporting from Freetown.
Thanks to John for that sport update. Well, viewers, you've been watching the local news here on Star TV. I am Waida Sase. Thanks for watching and stay blessed. As other exciting programs are coming up shortly after the news. Goodbye.